Hey, it's Carrie from down in Texas. I thought I would come in and show you guys making some homemade bread using my brand new bread maker from Cuisinart. So here we go. I kind of got ahead of myself, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So this is a Cuisinart bread maker. It'll make all sorts of breads, and this is like the third time I've used it. It really makes nice, good bread. I'm going to be making some other breads maybe at the weekend now that I've kind of got the hang of it. So what have I done so far? Well, here is the actual pan. And the first two ingredients that I put in, because I didn't think about it until just now to do this video. So anyways, 1.5 cups of room temperature water, 3 tablespoons of butter, which is already in the water, okay? Then we are going to use 1 tablespoon of sugar. 1 tablespoon of sugar. 1 tablespoon of sugar goes in the water. Then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So we're going to do 1, and we're going to just use up 1 here because there's going to be half. It's going to come out from the shaker. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Then we are going to use 4 cups. Yep, 4 cups of flour. 4 cups. That's a lot. So what I do is I use my trusty little scooper duper here. I take out my regular cup that I measure my flour with, and I just dip in here. And I use the kind of the bowl. Let me get a knife. Like I said, this was kind of half last minute, so I apologize. So we are going to get our measuring cup. 1. And we're going to put that in there. Need a little bit more on this one, so we're just going to grab our other little scooper duper. This is number 2. 2. Should have just enough here. This is number 3. 3. And 4. Should have just enough here to make 4 cups. And then I'll have to fill up my bowl again. Fourth cup. Now, it's really important when you're doing this and you're using a bread maker. Well, really, yeah, anytime you use a bread maker, it's really important. The one thing you got to be very careful of when you're doing this is that you don't get your yeast wet. Okay, so you put all the wet ingredients in first, and then, and only then, do you put your dry milk and your yeast in, because those have to stay dry when you're making it with a bread maker. So the next ingredient that we're going to use is 1/2 cup of dried milk. And we're going to use half a cup of this. So here we have half a cup. And we're going to put our scooper in the bag. And we're going to use half a cup of dried milk. Now you can alternate this recipe up or down. Okay, the important part about that is when you're using a bread maker, you have to make allowances for the wet. So if you're going to change the recipe at all, you need to make sure you're doing your calculations so you have the right dry and wet mixture. If you don't, you're not going to get bread. Okay, that's really important. So dried milk. Okay, then we are going to use did I put half a cup? I did. I put half a cup, so I put too much in there. So now I'm going to have to come in because I wasn't paying attention, and I'm going to have to scoop some of that out because I put too much in there. So I'm just going to have to scoop out a little because it should have been only a fourth, not a half. Okay, I wasn't paying attention, but that's an easy fix. Now we are going to use 1.5 teaspoons of dry active yeast. So 1.5 teaspoons of quick rise yeast. It's ready to go. 1.5 teaspoons. So we're going to do, let me get my 1.5 here. This is my 1 and this is my half. So we're going to do 1.5. All right. Now, what you do then is you put this in the machine. So let me come over here and I will show you this as I could get the right picture here. Okay, we put this in the machine. Make sure we put that down. We close the lid. Then we're going to come and we're going to program, and we're going to do 2 pounds. So we're going to do 2 pounds, and we want it a medium color for the crust, which is going to be 3 hours. And then we are going to hit start. Let me see if I can get this in here. Not sure if you can see that or not. Let me see. Let me try to get that in here better. Okay. Well, that's really not going to work real well for you. But let me turn. No, I can't turn it around. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to make some more comments.